Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to what day is today? Today is a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Batters Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Thrilled to have you aboard with us here. Hope your morning is off to an awesome start. Got it there linked or in the description on today's episode. Saints extend Alvin Kamara. That happened. The news broke. I mean, literally within 5 minutes of AFR ending. So thanks for that, Saints. I mean, you couldn't help your boy out a smidge getting that done 10 minutes sooner or whenever it might have been. But anyway, Saints extend Alvin Kamara, 2-year contract extension. I am torn here. I'm torn because on the one hand, I'm thrilled because I love Alvin Kamara and I want him to finish his career with the New Orleans Saints. He's among, if not my favorite Saint of all time. I love the way he plays. Franchise all-time touchdown leader. He's awesome. Love Alvin Kamara. The flip side of it is, in extending Alvin Kamara, what the Saints are saying is they're still committed to the now, and I just don't understand it. Like, there's nothing to suggest this team is anywhere close to contending. I mean, it is so obvious that the first 2 weeks you were playing two bad teams. You were rolling out a new offense, which people hadn't seen from this group yet. You had a lot of success with it, but you were a house of cards if losing your starting center and Taysom Hill caused you to completely collapse. Go from an offense averaging 40 a game to a team that can't score at all. I mean, the second half against Atlanta was so stark. So I've prepared myself mentally for this team going into a rebuild. And like, I guess I knew they were going to extend him. I'm not surprised in any way. Like, they're not going to be like, this is just what they've shown they are as an organization. So, like, this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody that they extended him. Of course, they were going to extend him. Especially when he was playing well earlier in the season. It's more just like he was one of the few players that you have that have value and have a tradable contract. So that's for me the disappointing part. On the one hand, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled Kamara's sticking around because I love him. On the other hand, just big picture as far as, organizationally, I'm disappointed because it just shows their commitment to now. And it's such a flawed commitment. And it's the wrong approach, very clearly. I mean, this is 4 years now without the playoffs. Like, how many more do you have to go to realize, like, this ain't it? Okay, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the posts. I'll say some good mornings, fire away. You know the drill, ask anything about anything. Trivia, what's good, man? Brian Wynn, good morning. Brian Penn, good morning from Harahan. I was in Harahan Monday, as a matter of fact. Had to go down to the Your View studios, shoot a few promos for a college football playoff show that yours truly will be hosting here in December. So looking forward to that. Bubba Smith, good morning. Let's see. Tashia Smith told you Matt he was going nowhere. I mean, I'm not surprised Alvin's not going anywhere. I don't think they should have extended him before the season. I think they were right to wait. And I think they gave him a modest deal, 2 years, $24 million. I think $22 million of it guaranteed. Gives him some security, lets him play the next couple of years, New Orleans. He still has value. There's no doubt. But the disappointing thing is because he has value, he was one trade asset that you had. I mean, and you're not 30-year-old Alvin Kamara away from competing. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Christian, good morning. Can you ask Russ today about how he thinks the Heisman race is shaping up? Would be interesting to know his thoughts. Sure. Eli, good morning. Feel the Saints might retain in. Oh, here you go. Bring back Dennis Allen. Well, they haven't fired him yet, but let the wheels go off on this season, and they may not have a choice. Jesse Brown, guess Miller's working out, so they extended Kamara. Patrick, hopefully we get the pictures of the for sale signs at DeBoer's house. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I got sent this link this morning. Alabama players refocusing on small things, including tucking shirts and being on time. Oh, it's a new day in Tuscaloosa, indeed. You know, I did an interview over the summer on Ryan Fowler's show. Ryan Fowler's in Tuscaloosa. And one of the things Ryan said was, you know, the thing you hear about it from everybody, it's just a new energy in the building. It's just, and he used the word easier. It's easier, you know, like it's not the sort of dictatorial demands that Nick Saban had. And I said, do you realize like that's not a good thing? That's why you are what you are as a program. It was Nick had that standard, and you loosen that standard, and everybody gets a little lax. And when everybody in the organization even gets just a little lax, it has a massive effect and result. And you're seeing it. Hey, Brian, let's see. Seems like Loomis is giving us fans the middle finger. Sorry I said it like that. It's all right, Brian. I know what you mean. I appreciate being respectful of the morning Scone crowd, but I know what you mean. Greg Lehman, Cowboys are 3-3 though. And they've also been blown out 3 times at home, Greg. I mean, all records are not created equal. I mean, they lost 44-19. They lost 28-5 at home. And then they lost to the Lions 47-9. I mean, their season opening win was at the Browns, who are one of the worst teams in football. And then they beat the Giants and the Steelers. So the Browns and the Giants are 2 of the worst teams. The win of the Steelers is nice, but it's a 2017 win. Chance, Mickey Loomis isn't accountable to anyone. He has no fear of being fired. It's true. Leon, morning, Matt. Glad we signed AK. I think you draft Travis Hunter by moving up. The team with Shaheed and Olave. Pray Rattler works out. Yeah, I don't know that Hunter is going to be a receiver. I don't know that they've decided that, if he's going to be a receiver or a cornerback at the next level. I don't know that I've heard him say what he wants to do. And I would definitely not move up to draft Travis Hunter. The only way, because my assumption is the Saints are going to be drafting somewhere in the top 10. The only way I'm moving up is to get a quarterback. Richie, morning, Matt. Kids and I are headed to school. They're singing your intro to AFR and Morning Scone. Love it. Diehards. It's so good. I kind of thought about this, Richie. Have hang on one second. Let me go turn off Drew's sound machine. I want to come back to that thought. Because I was thinking about this the other day, because people tell me like their kids listen or they're in the car. I want to give me 1 second.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Do business with someone you know. So that's so kind, Richie. And like sometimes people will tell me that, like their kids are in the car, their kids listen, or people will meet me and their kids come up and say hello too, because and they may not know a ton about what we're talking about, which is fine. But they're just there in the car and they hear the show, which is awesome. I love that. So when I was a kid, like I still remember this. I have two memories of like riding around, radio memories of like riding around with my dad, like whenever we would go to school in the morning and stuff. One is, so I'm talking about when I lived in New Orleans. So he would sometimes listen to WWL, which was a CBS affiliate, or maybe still is. And so I remember always the top of the hour tone, that dum, doo, 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 doo. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you heard it. So I remember that. Number two, we would listen to B97, and there was a guy named Scoot. And it was Scoot in the morning. And I remember his jingle was Scoot in the morning, B97 FM. Anyway, like I was probably 6, 7 years old, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. So I'm talking like that's 35 years ago, and I still remember it. And so I think about that sometimes. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool to think that, like, Richie, your kiddos may in 30 years like still remember the AFR jingle. Like I'll be long done by then. Hopefully not dead, but long done. I mean, I'll be, let's see. If I'm in 35, I'm 42, so it'll be 77. That's a weird thought. Oh my God. That's a weird thought. 77. I'm closer to 77 than I am to my birth. That's wild. Anyway, but it's cool to think. So thank you for that. Is Dennis Allen a work in progress? If you know, you know. Cameron, good morning. Randall, Kamara made it official as ended his career without a championship. You know what, Cameron? Randall, I don't. There's this assumption that deal guarantees Kamara will end his contract in New Orleans. I don't agree with that. It keeps him here through 26, so it's 2 more seasons. But what's to say Kamara may not play beyond those 2 seasons? Kelly Rose, good morning. Tyga Poppy, good morning. And who dat? Cameron, good morning. Dane, morning, Matt. Your Bama's Burning segment Monday was the best. My son and grandsons all watched in Georgia. The 4-year-old did his rendition of your show at pre-K. I love it. I got to see video of that, dude. I got to see. Hopefully there's video of it, Dane. Oh, man. Jeremy, good morning. Mr. Fontenot, you're right about Alabama's Les Miles era. I'm hearing Bama fans say it's not that we're losing, it's how we're losing. Doesn't that sound familiar? What's up, Christian? Good morning. Avid Inspection Specialist, avidspecialist.com. Great sponsor on Scone and Tea. Need a home inspection? This is our guy right here. Morning, Matt. I agree with you. It's time to embrace full rebuild top to bottom. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Dad, do you remember Scoot? Scoot in the morning. I remember there was one time he was doing some type of bit where he did a show or was doing some type of like gimmick where they were on a billboard. Like he was up, like if you ever look at one of the big billboards, like there's a ladder where you can climb up the billboard, and they were like on the platform up on the billboard. Do you remember that, Dad? I don't know if you remember that. It's weird the things you remember. Jason Horn, Jacob Thompson, Ronnie Duga. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Cameron, I think it's hard to trade Kamara and someone taking his contract. Is there anything else they could have done realistically? See, but that's just it, Cameron. Like, Kamara has a good contract because after this year, he's got nothing guaranteed on the deal. And the Saints have already, remember, NFL salaries are paid weekly. So the Saints have already paid 7 weeks of his salary on the season. So if someone were to take him on, my suggestion was the Chiefs, because with Pacheco injured, and I mean all the other weapons from Hollywood Brown and Juju missed last week, Rashee Rice, like they need weapons. And so I was like, and they're competing for a championship. So trade him to Kansas City, let him play out this year in KC, make a run at a ring. KC can afford him for half a season. And then they can make a decision if they want to sign him. If not, he hits free agency after the year. And the Saints would get an asset for basically loaning Kamara to a team for half a season. Anyway, but yes, that's just the thing. He was one of the players who actually had a tradable contract. Brett, got to start fast, make the 12th man feel like a 7th or 8th man. Joel, more Matt, finally copped the vintage tee from Home Field. T-Bob and the inflatable pig pushed me over the edge. I love it. Hopefully you used the code, the LSU24 code. Is all that's tracked and traced to us, so we appreciate it. Big shout out to Home Field, who sponsors Whiskey and Wine, and also, of course, my guy Derek over at Got Lit Light Installers. Can't wait, man. Sure we'll have ours installed soon. Looking forward to it. Got Lit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com, gotlitlights.com. It's easy. They come install Chris, and they're not installing your lights. They bring their own. So they install the lights. When the season's over, they take them away. You don't do anything. Your house just looks awesome. Gotlitlights.com. Joel, more to Matt. Oh, sorry. Just did that one. Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Been a minute. Hope all's well, dude. Thomas, what's good, man? Ziegler, holding on to our guys too long is what's wrong with our defense now. They should have gotten picks. Saints are incompetent. You know, I don't know if I'm going to say they're incompetent, but I am going to say that they are just, they are, I think they're just taking the wrong approach. And I was okay with this approach, to be very clear. I was very okay with this at the end of the Breeze era. You were doubling down, trying to win another championship before Drew retired. And you got close. You didn't get there. And so you're left with this big pile of debt and nothing to show for it. And that stinks. And so instead of just altering your lifestyle to pay off the debt and get your finances back in order, so to speak, they just keep taking out new credit cards and keep digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole, trying to hit the moonshot to get out of it. All right, Brett, this week's Bama is Burn was your best yet. A lot of people liked it, man. That's cool. Devin, morning, Matt. Right now, what conference do you think is better, SEC or Big Ten? I think the SEC is deeper for sure. We'll see if Big Ten is maybe better at the top with Ohio State and Oregon, or if the SEC is at the top with Georgia and Texas. Maybe we'll see. Josh, good morning. Chance Whitworth is a great selection for SEC legends. Weird they have Barry Switzer and Vince Young. Yeah, that is weird. So the SEC announced their legends class. So every year at the SEC football championship game, they honor the legends on the field. Same thing with the basketball tournament. They honor the SEC legends. So Andrew Whitworth is LSU's representative this year. But yeah, so they've got guys that never played in the SEC representing Texas and Oklahoma with, as you mentioned, Switzer and Vince Young. That'll be honored. It's weird. Tim Gotro, good morning. Mark Allen, there's nothing hearing T-Bob at 2 a.m. on Whiskey and Wine while trying to sleep. Nothing, I guess nothing like you, yeah. Taz, good morning. Will injury save DA his job? Taz, I don't think so, man. Because I think this thing continues to spiral. What saved DA the last 2 years is the late surge, right? They won 3 out of 4 2 years ago and 4 out of 5 last year to end the season. And that late surge kind of saved him. But as we've noted several times, of those two stretches where you won 3 out of 4 and 4 out of 5, there's only one team you beat that had a winning record, and that was the Eagles. That were the 13-3 Eagles. But remember, that was an Eagles team that didn't have Jalen Hurts. They started Gardner Minshew. So who really did you beat in that stretch? Brad David, never knew Ryan Clark went undated. He was a lot better in the NFL than was he a lot better in it? Oh, undrafted. Yeah, undrafted. No, Ryan was great in college. He was like Ryan's one of the all-time leading tacklers at LSU. Ryan was just undersized and not very fast. So it's just one of those things where the NFL. Here you go. 2000, he was all SEC second team, third in tackles in 01. Of course, that's when you had Brady James and Trev Falk. So you had those two who led your team in tackles, and then Clark was third. Intercepted 3 passes, and then was LSU Special Teams Player of the Year in 1998. So RC redshirted 97. That was his freshman season, was 97. He redshirted. And then Special Teams 90, became a starter at safety. And Nick, he's told a lot of stories about Nick Saban coming in and how, and even I'd say Pete Jenkins told a great story about Ryan. I can't remember if Coach Pete told this on air. If he told me this, he might have told me this privately. I'll tell it. It's not like it's a big thing, but he said the only 2 people that knew when Nick came here and put in his defense. So the only 2 people that knew every assignment on the entire defense were Nick Saban and Ryan Clark. And so Nick had a tremendous expectation of Ryan. And very smart player, very physical player. You know, I remember watching RC at LSU. Obviously, I mean, we were in school at the same. We overlapped. I think RC's maybe 2 years older than me, but we overlapped, and because he played in Pittsburgh, I never really watched him in the NFL. I mean, I just don't watch a lot of Steelers football. He started his career in Washington with the Redskins, and then went to Pittsburgh, where he played the bulk of his career. But then I met Ryan in 2014. I was working on traction with Terrio and Mac and all those guys, and RC was training there in the offseason. That's the first time that we actually met and like kind of became friends. And so that year, I remember it was his last year in the NFL, and he went back and played one more season at Washington after his time in Pittsburgh. He played one more season in Washington. And so I made it a point to watch him because, I mean, like at that point I knew him. I consider him a friend, and I was like, I wanted to watch him. And I was like, God, dog, he played violently. Now, he wasn't a physical guy. He was a violent football player. Like, go YouTube Ryan Clark highlights. Like, I mean, smart, instinctive. You know, people in Pittsburgh will tell you it was Ryan and his sense of the game that allowed Troy Polamalu to go freelance and do all the things he did because Ryan had the back end covered. Anyway, got off on a little tangent there. But good question. Jeff, what's going on? Damn. Rocky, Ron, what's up, Ron Richie? Good morning, man. Not the gums focusing on shirts and time. So good. All right, y'all. I got to go. My apologies. It's already 7:47. I can hear Drew's awake. I got to get him going. Stat dub. 7:45. He go. All right, I got to go. Thanks so much for watching. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Hey, Locked on LSU is live, so just jump over to that. I got some really good stuff on there about comparing Nussmeier and Connor Wegman. I think you're going to enjoy. So podcast or YouTube, Locked on LSU, and then AFR at 3. We'll see you. Y'all have an awesome day.